All right, everyone. This is Mrs. K. Parker. Welcome to my super cool YouTube channel where I'm going to teach you about total surface area and lateral surface area of prisms, so rectangular prisms and triangular prisms and cylinders. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is rectangular prisms. So of course a rectangular prism is a prism, a 3D shape that's entirely made up of rectangles. Okay, so there's 6 rectangles that make up this shape, and there's a formula that we use, pH+2B, for the total surface area that will help us to find the total surface area of the shape. So before we can move on, we absolutely have to know what these pieces of the formula mean. Okay, so the first one, P, is the perimeter of the base. And to find perimeter, all we do is add up all the sides. Okay, and of course, and since our shape is a rectangular prism, that means that our base is the rectangle on the bottom of the prism. Okay, so for instance, this one here, our base would be this bottom shaded rectangle. Now, they're not always going to be shaded for you like that, but this one is, just to make it a little more clear for you. Okay, so that's P, perimeter of the base. H is the height of the prism from base to base. So from this bottom rectangle to the top rectangle. And then B is the area of the base. And what that means is that we take our base and we need to find the area of it. So you need to know how to find the area of a rectangle. And since on the STAR test you get a formula chart, you would be able to look up on that formula chart under area, and you would see that the formula for the area of a rectangle is A equals little b h, which is still base times height, but it is little b, which means it is just the base and the height of the rectangle that makes up the base of the shape. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at a problem. So I've already highlighted the base of this rectangle here. And what that means is that now I can redraw that base to make it easier to find the pieces of the formula that I have to put together and figure out to be able to solve for the total surface area. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to use my highlighter, which on the STAR test you get a highlighter, so I would definitely recommend you do this. So I'm going to redraw that base. Of course, the bottom of that rectangle, or the the long piece closest to me, is 6, which means that the opposite side also has to be 6. This short side here is 3, which means the opposite side has to be 3. So now I've redrawn my base, and since P is the perimeter of the base and B is the area of the base, I can use this base that I just drew, and I can find P and B straight from that. I don't have to refer to the 3D figure anymore to find these two pieces, which makes life a little bit easier. Okay, so perimeter, of course, is adding up all the sides. So a rectangle has 4 sides, so that means I'm going to add up the 4 sides of that rectangle. Okay, so 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3 is 18. And then for capital B, the area of the base, I'm going to follow my formula, A equals little b times h, which is thus the base of the rectangle. So 6 times the height of the rectangle, which is 3. 6 times 3 is also 18. So it just so happens that our perimeter and our base actually equal the same thing. Or sorry, the perimeter of the base and the area of the base actually equal the same thing in this one. Our last piece of the formula is the little h. So the height of the prism from base to base. So what I'm looking for is from the base that I've already redrawn to the opposite base. I'm looking for the distance between those two. So in this case, that is 4. Now, I have the 3 pieces I need. I have P, I have H, I have B. 2 has been given to us, so I don't have to find that. But now I can plug everything that I have into that formula. So total surface area equals P, which is 18, times the height, which is 4, plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 18. I can now type this into my calculator exactly as it looks. Parentheses, 18, parentheses, parentheses, 4, parentheses, plus 2, parentheses, 18, parentheses. When I multiply all that together, I should get 108 centimeters squared. Okay, let's do another example. Okay. Here's another rectangular prism. We need to find the total surface area. So I'm going to highlight the bottom rectangle that is the base of the shape. And then I'm going to redraw. Your rectangle doesn't exactly have to be to scale, but sometimes that's helpful. The piece of the rectangle that is closest to the front, the long piece, is 10, which means the opposite side must be 10. The short side here is 5, so that means the opposite side must be 5. Now I can use that to find P and to find B. So the perimeter of the base. So I'm adding 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5. And I would just type all of that into my calculator, and I would get 30. B, the area of the base. So referring to this formula here, little b times h, the base of the rectangle times the height of the rectangle. So 10 times 5, which is 50. And then finally, my last piece, h, which we will refer back to the original 3D figure. And remember, h is from base to base. So from the rectangle that I already highlighted to the opposite rectangle that's on top, I can see that that is 2. So it has a height of 2 centimeters. Now I have my 3 pieces. I have P, I have H, I have B. Now I can plug it in. So total surface area equals the perimeter, which is 30, times the height, which is 2, plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 50. I type it all into my calculator exactly as it looks. And I should get 160 centimeters squared. All right, so there's total surface area. We'll do lateral surface area next.